mainit na balita.
Kasi sinasabi nila, wala naman tayong jurisdiction sa ICC. Hindi naman yung ICC pinag-uusapan yung mamamayang Pilipino na isinuko mo sa kanila.
Correct.
By jurisdiction, ang ating mga hukuman doon sa illegal na ginawa ninyo. Sapagat ang saligang batas ay binigyan ng kapangyarihan ang hukuman na litisin at idetermina kung ang isang hakbang o akto na ginawa ng isang opisyal ng gobyerno o ng gobyerno ay illegal o hindi. Yun no, may jurisdiction tayo doon kaya it can never be moot and academic. Ang sinasabi po nila, wala na, moot and academic. Kasi wala na nga.
Yes.
Hindi po pwedeng maging moot and academic. Kasi sinasabi nila, wala naman tayong jurisdiction sa ICC. Hindi naman yung ICC pinag-uusapan yung mamamayang Pilipino na isinuko mo sa kanila.
Correct.
Ang may jurisdiction ang ating mga hukuman doon sa illegal na ginawa ninyo. Sapagat ang saligang batas ay binigyan ng kapangyarihan ang hukuman na litisin at idetermina kung ang isang hakbang o akto na ginawa ng isang opisyal ng gobyerno o ng gobyerno ay illegal o hindi. Yun no, may jurisdiction tayo doon kaya it can never be moot and academic. Yan ang sinasabi namin. Sapagkat yung illegal na akto ay hindi makakatakas doon sa katawan ng gumawa. Kahit saan ka magpunta, susundin ka. Illegal ang ginawa mo rito, kahit saan ka pumunta, illegal pa rin yan. Hindi mo maaaring sabihin, wala na ako sa Pilipinas eh. O, yan.
Okay, maraming salamat. Maraming pong salamat, attorney, sa atin pong pagpapatuloy. In any event, this honorable court has on multiple occasions decided cases that have become moot. In fact, in the case of Toyoto versus Ramos, GR number L69270, October 15 of 1985, this honorable court ruled on the petition for habeas corpus despite the subject's release. If a ruling was deemed necessary, then even with the subjects no longer in custody, there is even stronger reason for this honorable court to rule now, given former President Duterte's continued illegal detention. 18. In the matter of the petition for writ of habeas corpus, Data versus De Lima, on September 8, 2020, this honorable court held that it is not precluded from deciding cases otherwise moot if first, there is a grave violation of the Constitution, second, the exceptional character of the situation and the paramount public interest are involved, third, when the constitutional issue raised requires formulation of controlling principles to guide the bench, the bar, and the public, and fourth, the case is capable of repetition yet evading review. 19. All such conditions for this honorable court's exercise of judicial power are present. The respondents have committed grave violations of the Constitution, including the denial of former President Duterte's right to due process of law under Article 3, Section 1, the violation of separation of powers and appropriating judicial power for themselves in contravention of Article 8. All such conditions for this honorable court's exercise of judicial power are present. The respondents committed grave violations of the Constitution, including the denial of former President's right due process of law under Article 3, Section 1, the violation of separation of powers by appropriating judicial power for themselves in contravention of Article 8, Section 1, the failure to comply with its prime duty to serve and protect Filipinos under Article 2, Section 4, and the failure to comply with the duty to place paramount consideration on national sovereignty and national interest in dealings with foreign bodies under Article 2, Section 7. 20. This case obviously involves a highly exceptional situation and paramount public interest, not only because it involves a beloved former president of the Republic of the Philippines, but also because of the serious implications on our country's sovereignty and even on ordinary Filipino citizens, for instance, those who are subject of an international criminal police organization or Interpol Red Notice. 21. The constitutional issues raised definitely requires formulation of controlling principles to guide the bench, the bar, and the public.
Yes. So, muna dyan. Ang sinasabi po namin, dahil nga sabi nilang mutin academic at sinasabi namin hindi, kahit ipagpalagay na mutin academic, sabi po namin, kailangan pa rin ang hukuman ay magbigay ng desisyon dito upang magkaroon ng mga ruling na mapapakinabangan ng lahat. Sapagkat meron pong mga desisyon ng Korte Suprema na kahit na moot and academic na, di ba, na-release na, hindi na nakakulong, dinidismiss na. Sabi ng Korte, hindi. Merong mga exceptions to the rule. Like for instance, kung itong isyong ito ay grave violation of the Constitution, isang lantarang paglabag sa salingang batas ang issue. Pangalawa, ang sabi ng Korte Suprema, kung ang issue rito ay tumatawag o pumapasok sa tinatawag na public interest. At talaga naman may public interest dito dahil ang pinag-uusapan dito isang Pilipinong isinuko mo, iniresto mo na ng illegal, kinidnap mo pa, pinakulong mo pa sa ibang bansa. At sabi ng Korte, pangatlo, kailangan daw merong mga prinsipyo na ilalabas ang Korte Suprema para maging giya at hindi na maulit ang mga ganito. Lalong-lalo na itong ginawa sa Pangulong Duterte ay maaaring maulit na muli at ito'y makakatakas na naman sa judicial scrutiny kasi pero mo, di-dismiss kasi mutin academic na o ginantipalaan mo na pagkatapos wala ka pang magawa, ay hindi po pwede yun. Kaya sabi namin, sa mga binigay na exception ng Korte Suprema ay makikita na pasok ang kaso ng Pangulong Duterte. Yung last two paragraphs mo.
Yes. We can go 23, 24, attorney. In this case, or papatuloy ko po ito yung 21 natin. Okay. The constitutional issues raised definitely requires formulation of controlling principles to guide the bench, the bar, and the public concerning the observation of due process in the implementation of a warrant of arrest from the ICC or other foreign bodies where the Philippines has no treaty obligation to arrest and surrender the accused, as admitted by the DOJ spokesperson Clavano in the same accused on the same DZBB interview. Ito po ay bago para sa ating lahat. Ito po ay novel, kumbaga, para sa ating lahat. Just from the reaction of even the experts ng ICC, pati sila nangangapa. And they even said that this is uncharted. 22. This honorable court must step in to provide guidance because the DOJ's oppressive procedure is certainly inconsistent with the fundamental tenets of our Constitution. As discussed above, this honorable court's intervention is even made more necessary because of the belief of the DOJ through ASEC Clavano that in the end of the day, ang magsasabi talaga ng tamang interpretation ay yung mga prosecutors sa ICC dahil hindi naman po taya ang nagbuo or tayo ang nagbuo ng rules na ito. 23. This case is certainly capable of repetition yet evading review. In fact, in her press briefing this morning, March 14, 2025, the Presidential Communications Office Undersecretary Claire Castro announced that the Philippine government will also cooperate with Interpol for the arrest of Senator Ronald Bato de la Rosa once his ICC warrant of arrest is endorsed. Last one, 24. This Honorable Court's intervention and relief is therefore as urgent and necessary now that it was when the V. Duterte petition was filed, whether or not the petitions are moot.
Yan ang sinasabi natin kanina na kailangan talagang magkaroon ng mga rulings, mga deklarasyon ng Korte Suprema upang maging maliwanag ang gagawin ng isang gobyerno kaugnay sa mga ganitong kalakaran kung saan ang isang mamamayan ay dinidemanda sa dayuang tribunal. At sinasabi po natin doon, lalong-lalo pa nga na this involves yung tinatawag na paghihiwalay ng mga sangay, separation ng branches of government. Kasi kung matatandaan po ninyo, doon sa Section 59 o Article 59 ng Rome Statute, sinasabi doon na kung meron kayong aarestuhin at meron silang warrant of arrest na in-issue, kinakailangan yung warrant of arrest na yon ibigay mo doon sa lokal na hukuman ng bansa kung saan naroon yung gusto mong ipa-aresto. At ipadaan mo doon sa tinatawag na competent judicial authority. At ito'y napakalaga, sabi namin sa petisyon, sapagkat itong executive, yung Department of Justice, inagaw na ang kapangyarihan ng hukuman. At sila sila daw yung judicial competent authority. Biro niyo yun, nangagaw na sila ng isang sangay, sila'y nasa executive. Napakaliwanag ng hukuman, or rather ng saligang batas, ng kapangyarihan ng hukuman ay sa kanila lang ibinibigay to determine whether an act of an official or an institution or an instrumentality or a government is illegal or not. Sila lang yun. Sila ang hukuman, hindi ang itong DOJ, sila lang yung tinatawag na prosecutorial. Sila lang ang uusig. Hindi sila ang hatol. Biro mo, sila na ang umuusig, sila pa nag-aresto, sila pa hatol. Anong? Ibig sabihin, kangaroo court. Hindi ubre yan. Yan po ang sabi namin sa petisyon.
Ayan, maraming salamat, attorney, sa malinaw niyo pong pagpapaliwanag sa nangyari po sa ating former president. At ngayon po ay tanggap naman po tayo ng mga balita. Naglabas na ng official statement ang